What's up, everybody? This is Bree from Young, Saved, and Free, and I'm back with this week's Tuesday Talk. And before we get into it, for everybody that's new here, welcome to my channel. And if you ever, want to know a little bit more about what we're doing here, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and then you can go back and look at all my old videos, like I Gotta Get to Know Me, and Foundations of Faith, where I talk about how I've grown in my faith and all that. Just watch it. Just watch it. Just watch them. And you'll get to know all about me and, continue to grow with the family. So go ahead and subscribe. Hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you never miss another video from me. And for everybody that's been here, welcome back. And everybody, please do me a big favor and make sure you're subscribed to my mailing list. Please, please, please do yourself a favor and do that, okay? Now, I guess we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. So this week we're going to be talking about faith and business. And my inspiration was actually the show that Niecy Nash. I don't know why I could not get her name out just now. But she's doing a show on, I think it's the Urban Movie Network or the Urban Movie Channel, called Behind Her Faith. And I'm ecstatic that this is happening. Like, I'm so excited, and I feel like it's absolutely necessary. For one, I love Niecy Nash. Like, she's crazy, and I love it. And I'm so glad that she can be who she is and still talk about this. So she's showing people you can be who you are and still believe in God. Like, I love it. I'm here for all of it. And then on top of that, she is doing this in a time where a lot of people are like, I'm self-made. I'm a boss this. I'm a boss that. Ain't nobody was shooting me in the gym. Blah, blah. Ain't nobody checking for that. Like, that is one of my biggest pet peeves when people say that they're self-made. Like, child, like, you are not. Stop lying to the people. Please just stop lying to the people. Because God was there with you the whole time. He'll never leave you nor forsake you. But y'all don't want to talk about that. So that's why I'm glad this show was out. Because it has to address those things. It has to address faith. Because sometimes, and even outside of that, I forgot to mention one reason that I'm glad that it's on is because it's talking about faith and giving people the encouragement to talk about their faith. So, like, even for me, I've never talked about my faith the way I have until I started this platform. And it's just now, even when I started it, I just didn't talk about. I don't talk about Young, Saved, and Free outside of, like, people that know that I do it. Like, it's not something I just broadcast to the world. And I was the same with my faith. Like, people know that I go to church if they ask. But I'm not like, Jesus saved me. He loves me. Do you love him? I love him. Do you? Like, it's not, I'm not one of those type of people. I'm not an in your face type of Christian. I just live my life the way that I do. And if you want to know why I'm living my life the way that I am, it's because of God. I'll tell you that. But I'm not going to be like, Jesus did this and Jesus did that. And Jesus raised my mama from the dead. And he, like, child, I'm just not that person. I'm a social introvert. Like, I'm social in social settings a little bit, sort of, just a tiny bit, but I'm really an introvert most of the time. So, like, I like to stay in the house. I like to enjoy time by myself. I'm not one that likes a lot of people around me, but I'm just so amazed at what's going to happen with this show. I'm really wondering what kind of take they're going to take on it, because I don't want it to be like a faith show and then it goes left, to give, like, faith a bad rap or anything like that, because the media is taking a turn as far as when it comes to faith, and it's a turn for the good. So, like, people like August Alsina, he's always singing gospel songs on his Instagram. Like, it's rare that you'll see him singing anything other than a gospel song. Like, recently, this past Wednesday, I posted a video on my Instagram, on the Young, Saved, and Free Instagram, and it was him singing Satisfied by the Walls Group, which is one of my favorite Wall Group songs, by the way. But if you read the caption, it will say something like, around the nature of, I'm glad that, every time he goes through something, he still finds himself back with God. Like, it's even though he's a secular singer or a worldly singer, whatever you want to call it, he still finds himself back with God every single time. When he's sick, he still finds himself back with God. When he was going through his drug thing, he ended up on stage with Tasha Cobbs. Like, it's amazing. And like, even Evie was on the 4, and I found Evie through Terrell on the Terrell show. That's my boo. She's now a gospel artist, and I think it's amazing for her to be like, I think she's like 21, 22. That's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And I think it's so important to talk about faith now as for professionals, because a lot of times when people see successful people, they don't see their faith. They think is, oh yeah, they went to school for this, that, and they never gave up. They pulled themselves up by their own bootstraps, and they just kept going and never gave up, never gave in, and now they're successful. Like, that's the stereotypical story. And I'm so glad that there's groups like Black Christian Influencers, which I'm a part of, and I absolutely love it. We're all from different areas. We all talk, about faith together, and it's important to have that. It's important for people to know that, not that you can't be successful in in the marketplace and still have faith. So like, there's people that's in Black Christian Influencer that are like financial planners and business people, and like architects and all kind of stuff. Like, everybody's not like me, where I am a blogger, like a faith blogger, and everybody's not like that. There's actually working professionals that just so happen to have faith. Like, I love that, because there's not, a lot of times when people think of people of faith, they think of people that are churching all the time, or that are, clergy, or they're in ministry full time, and it doesn't have to be like that. And so I remember when I went to Young Leaders Conference, there were people, I think he was like, what was he? He was like not a loan shark. What is it? He worked at a bank, and he said that he talks about his faith all the time with his clients. And I'm like, that is amazing. That is absolutely amazing. It's so important to be able to talk about faith and all that. And I actually talking to my aunt yesterday. She was saying that, even though she's an apostle and her husband isn't always at church, he still got saved because somebody on his job said something to him about Jesus. And that's it's so important to show that there's so many different faces to being a witness of God. You don't have to be a minister or a preacher or an evangelist or a prophet or anything like that. Like, you can be a regular person. And not to say that regular people can't act in those capacities. Like, my pastor, he works. My pastor from back home, he works in the school system. My first lady, she does something with Social Security. I don't know. But it's to show your light, even when you're not working in your ministerial capacity at that time. Like, just being who you are, like letting God show up anyway. There's a guy at my job. He has not a single tooth in his mouth. And we joke on him all the time. But I know that he hears from God. And he said some things to me about my life that I was just like, whoa. Like, and even though we and him still joke, we go back and forth about faith all the time at work. And it's interesting to me, because usually you can't do that with people at work. But like, I remember one day we were having a conversation about corrupt language, so specifically cursing. And my take on it is very, like, my mindset is a little bit different from people that, are typically in church. I try not to curse just because it's a very ugly thing to do. But I do believe that, there's nothing wrong with it for some people. It's just something that I don't want to participate in like that. There's no place in the Bible that says those 7 words are cuss words. So you can't tell me that is the only corrupt language that the Bible is referring to. You can tear people down and not even curse. That's still corrupt language. And so we was going at it about that. And he was just like, no, you can't say that because you a church. And I'm like, I'm just saying it how I feel. Like, that is, That's just how I feel about it. Like, you're not going to tell me that I'm wrong. I'm not going to tell you that you're wrong. That's just how I feel. That is my perspective. There is no, show me where it says this word, this word, this word, this word, this word, this word, this word are corrupt language. Show me that. Because it doesn't say it. It doesn't have it anywhere in there. Those are all man-made things. But it's so interesting. Like, and that's kind of one of the things that I'm starting to appreciate about my job. Even though it's not the best job, and I am, looking for something else. Being able to talk about faith in the open at my job with not just one person, but with pretty much everybody. Like, I can tell my supervisor, hey, I have to sing at this church on this day. Can I be off that day, or can I work the morning shift? And she'd be like, yeah, absolutely. Whatever accommodations you need, we'll make them for you for that. That's amazing, because we don't have a lot of people that are in the workplace that are, living by faith. We have a lot of Scrooges. We got a lot of unbelief. And it's starting to water down and tear down the environment, the environment that you're in. If you're in such a toxic environment, it's not going to be good for you. The last place that I worked, it was awful. Like, it was absolutely horrible. And so for me to go from a place that would not let me go to church some days, or not let me do certain things, it was a problem for me. And to go to where I am now, where they're like, oh yeah, if you have church stuff on Sunday, don't worry about it. We'll just have you come in Sunday afternoon. We need people like that in the workplace. We need to know that God is the first and foremost of your life. Even if it's not in the workplace, just for you to be successful. So for people like Tyler Perry, who just opened his new studio, and he had a church service for part of his opening. That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. There's a lot of people that we like, that's inappropriate because it's still a professional environment. Yeah, it's professional, but guess who provided the environment? Jesus. Okay? So I'm going to give him up. I'm going to lift him up every time I get a chance. I'm going to praise him no matter what, because he did this. It wasn't my doing. It wasn't, that I've been in this business for 15, 16 years. It's, really long, almost 20 years that he's been in the business now. But it wasn't that. It was Jesus. And so I will never, ever, ever deny that Jesus is why I am the way that I am, why I am where I am. And I am, I always used to give myself a hard time about business, before me specifically, because I know that I'm not going to turn Young, Saved, and Free into a business per se, but I will have products that you all can purchase. And so I used to feel really bad about that, because I felt like I couldn't be successful in that because not everybody believes. But now with this new wave of believers coming, it's like, this is perfect. And even in my business area, a whole nother business just dropped in my lap, and I'm like, oh, okay. So even if this thing isn't as successful, there is a need for this other business that you've put in me. And so I'm going to do that. I'm going to use the funds from that to fund this other business over here that is absolutely necessary, and to fund this nonprofit that I'm working on, and to, make all these other moves that I want to make. And it's nothing but God. And I mean, we've actually talked about this with Epic Fab Girl. If y'all didn't know, I am a writer for Epic Fab Girl, and that was one of our first topics that we had to write about, was faith in business. And to see people like Miss Crystal and Candace and Maya Elias and Gay Babe TV and all these other, what is it? What is her name? Is it Victoria? Vicki Logan. Her. She was at Go Getter. And to see, I didn't know she was the first lady. I had no idea. But to see people like that be so successful, and then they love God on top of that, that's amazing. So for all of y'all that are watching, don't be afraid to show your faith. I mean, you might be like me where you're just not blasting it to the world, but don't be afraid to let that light shine in you. And I pray that this blessed you all, and we can definitely talk about some of your favorite believers in the business world. We can talk about it. I want to know what some of y'all are. So leave a comment below, and I will see you all in the next video. And thanks so much for watching. Bye.